In a recent video, we made a simple skeletal ball shape with our 3D pens, like so. And I promised it can get even more fun once you add color and pattern. So let's look at one more way to go about that. I know, it looks like the process will have to be way more complicated than what we did for the skeleton ball, which started from just these few basic circles. That video is linked below if you need a refresher. But the truth is, all you need to do is to fill the basic circles with a bit more pattern in different colors, and it brings the resulting ball to a whole new, impossibly intricate looking level. Make yourself a pattern, or get one at 3D Pen and Etsy. Put that on your turntable and cover it with a segment of 3D made design mat or any other transparent surface you prefer. Here is what the mat looks like. The link is down below if you need it. I have divided mine into the 6 individual segments to make it more user-friendly and to use it with my turntable. Let's make one of the larger layers, maybe the blue one, as an example. I will trace the circles I'm planning to use and connect them to the center axis and each other. Now, if you look closely, you will see the 3 circles I decided to skip. But other than that, you may notice that all the other grooves are now taken. There is still more lines on this pattern to be traced, but no more grooves to make them in. That is a common misconception about this mat, that you can only make the lines that are on it. Actually, you can selectively make just some basic structure and then attach whatever you please to those basic lines. By just going ever so slightly above the mat, anchoring the new lines to the filament that is already in the grooves. Interestingly enough, the process will be similar even if you work on a flat surface without the mat. Now, I will need to make these 6 basic circles twice, one set for each hemisphere, and the largest green circle, that will become the equator of the ball, just once. The plan is to stack them up with the appropriate gaps in between and connect them to form a ball. The question is, how do I know what size gaps to make in between to end up with a ball, or any other shape I want? So here is how that works. Here is a quarter of my ball with all the 10 circles I have available on this mat, marked down here, and connected up to the curve of the ball and then sideways to the z-axis. That's the one sticking up from your work surface. I will mark the circles I plan to use and erase the ones I'm not. Now I will color code my circles in the order I want the colors organized. In this case, the order of the rainbow, with a little white spot in the center of the yellow circle to make it glow. I don't have a white marker, so I will mark the centers black on this planning pattern. Here I can see how far the layers need to be from each other. So how do we get them to stay there? I will need some tools of varying heights to sandwich between my layers. Since I do this a lot, I made myself a set of spacers from skinny craft sticks by gluing them together and numbering them by how many are in each stack. Now I can match my spacers with the gaps on my pattern If you don't want to go through all this trouble, you can just tape a bunch of cardboard strips together to get the right size for the stack. So here are my gaps all planned out. Just make sure you can still see the circle lines in between your spacers, because you need to leave a space for the thickness of the circles. Here are the gaps we will need. In this case, 1, 2, 5, 6, and 9. Time to assemble. One more consideration is that when you are working with multiple colors, in this case 7, you want to have to do as few color changes as possible. So it is way more efficient to just build and assemble at the same time, instead of making all the layers first like I did here for the sake of this video. While you have the white in your pen, do the other white layer and then take those off, then change to yellow. Make the yellow layer, and before you take it off your surface, assemble the white part to it, while your pen still has the yellow filament in it. And repeat for the other hemisphere. Then switch to orange, make a layer, and attach the previously assembled part to it, this time with the spacer number 1. And don't forget to do the other half. Switch to red, and this time assemble with spacer number 2. And repeat. Attach the purple with spacer number 5, and then blue with spacer number 6. This way you are reloading your pen only 7 times total, rather than 7 times for building and 7 times for the assembly. Also, the part you just built stays stuck to your surface for the assembly, and that keeps it stable, without having to re-snap it into the mat or tape it down if you're working without the mat. This blue circle was made previously and taken off the mat, and you can see the layer is not snapped back into the grooves correctly. It is kind of loose and wiggly, and I have to hold it down to keep the blue circle stable, and it's not working all that well. It is definitely possible to snap it back in the mat, but you have to work at it. Therefore, it's better to assemble parts to it before you remove it. I am attaching the green circle with a spacer of 9 craft sticks. As I mentioned, this is the equator of the ball, so we will need just 1 green circle. I will stop with the other hemisphere at the blue level. That will help to join the ball seamlessly in the middle, as you will see shortly. If you are watching this on TV and not on your tiniest screen, you may notice there is all this superfine hair left behind the pen. I am trying to be careful to minimize it, but evidently not entirely succeeding. My new favorite way to get rid of this hair is with a heat gun with a skinny nozzle. At about 400 degrees it burns the hair right off. But work in short bursts, as not to melt anything you were planning to keep. Last check off the curve of my ball with my quarter circle cutout. Looks pretty round so far. Good. Now for joining the 2 halves. I will stick down the larger bottom hemisphere with a piece of mounting putty, so it stays put. Stack the spacer number 9 on it and join it just like I did on the first side. And we are done. Of course, the variations are endless and you can really play with the colors as you please. I just thought doing a rainbow color scheme would explain the process more clearly. Alternatively, you can leave the circles partway empty, just minimally connected to the central axis, and then edit those connections out when done to get slightly more see-through look. Or you can fill the centers all white or all black, like that ball on the far right. Also, this technique, which I call contour lifting, lends itself well to scaling up. This ball is about 18 inches and you can see I have a lot more room to play with my design. Of course, you will also need to scale up your spacers and surface if you want to work this big. You need to be somewhat creative about resizing the whole process, but it is definitely possible. There is a prior video on the big ball in the description. With more room inside, you may choose to put some things inside the ball, like so. Or choose to extend from the ball outward into space. But that would have to be another video. In the meantime, go and make something.